We start this presentation today from this panoramic spot in Solis that gives you a pretty good idea of the extent of the world. So Solis is everything is procedurally generated, everything is there for your use, per use, and to just have fun with those. Let's just jump down the cliff. Needless to say, both Parachute and Wingsuit are back. We them even more. We improved the interaction model, and we've polished the animation and the way that Rico relates to his. So it's pretty colorful, and the reason is that this plane was actually belonging to the Black Hand, so it was looking quite badass, black and red, but UArmy took control of it and it just graffitied and made it fun. Because that's the top left of the screen, those are there to advise player about playable content that is nearby. Now they're gonna get less and less because they're gonna go up in the air. But the point is that Solis is not only the biggest world we craft so far, it's also the most rich in terms of things to do. So that widget, it's gonna alert player whether there is something to do for the revolution or for a secondary character or for a main story, and so on. So as Brian is flying over the desert, you may notice that there is a certain variation in the landscape itself. Like now, we are just welcoming a mine. Welcome the mine. Ooh, that it's, you can tell it's desert, but it's not really desert. It looks and feels different. This is one of those things that we call sub-biomes. And we need to use these to infuse variety within the biomes itself, because again, they are big. If they were all looking samey, you will be bored pretty soon, and I don't want that. We just want to give you surprise after surprise. There's the sensor. I did promise before that we would have passed nearby. I hope we don't end inside it, because one of the features of the sandstorm itself is that it drastically reduces your visibility. That has quite interesting consequences. Sub-biome in the desert is the canyon that goes with a river at the bottom. Now, the world is big, and it's big not just for the sake of being big. It's big because Rico moves fast. He moves fast if he's in a vehicle, he moves fast if he's in his wingsuit, and he basically teleports himself every time that he fires his grappling hook. So we literally need ground to cover. This time around, we also built it differently. If you look and feel different, they also play different. The biome literally structure your gameplay space. So that say, driving on the desert through the dunes is a completely different feeling than driving on the rainforest, where it's kind of hard to get off-road because you got trees everywhere. Now think a bit about it. This also means that the moment that you are chased by the Black Hand, the strategies that you're going to employ in the desert are completely different from the one that you're going to employ in the grassland, the alpine, or the rainforest. It's like having 4 games in one. This is one of the town that I love the most. It's inspired by Huacachina. That's a town in Peru, an oasis town, because it's stones for some reason, but I like airlifter. And what they do, they defy gravity. And in this case, Brian is just sending stuff up the sky. Just goes. Now, these attachment vehicles, things that are built in a way that can interact meaningfully with them. So even if you take just a otherwise insignificant food cart, here it is that with the addition of just a propane tank, you can make it interesting once you interact, with airlifter, booster, or somebody else. And so we got the airlifter attached to a red barrel. The jet up there, it could have very easily gone onto that. And now the airlifter is following Rico wherever he goes. So Brian has just built a cloud of red barrels. What do you do with a cloud of red barrels? You rain explosions, right? Now, we've seen a food cart, we've seen a cloud of red barrel. Let's approach one of those objects where we actually put a lot more love than anything else. We call them the chaos objects, because when you destroy them, you accrue chaos. Because chaos is bad, and in a meaningful way, the GC2 way, not the GC3 one. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it in a second. So look at this. This is a radar. However, when we saw this, everybody in the studio thought, oh, it looks like a catapult. So you probably think that too. And if you as my player think that, I don't want to frustrate you. So I want for this thing to actually take off the demo. It goes without saying that as you play the game, you will progressively unlock your supply drops, you will progressively unlock your grappling hook attachment and mods. As you've seen, this is again something that we do for players so that they can have a bigger control on their setups. So here Brian needs to change the way that both the airlifter and the boost. And I guess what we've created, it's a flying tank. So what's interesting here is that the player, Brian there, is still driving the tank. And this is, since we have engineered the control so that you can use your grappling hook attachments even when you are driving vehicles. At the same time, a research facility where they research lightning. At this point into the game, that you are gonna use to kick this thing away. This will give us chaos army. You can see this updraft. Wind is a big component of the game, and you know for sure if you've seen the tornado video. We don't have only destructive wind, there is just wind that brings you around the world, and there is what we call mechanical wind, like this one. I love this because it allows me to hover in my parachute over the base and rain that from above. Let's see what happens if we shoot the wing gun now. Fire it now. Rico gets propelled. And this is kind of a testament to how deep and coherent the physics model is. Now, this said, I want to start a bit from a mission, and you may of a lightning storm and of a black hand attack. And what we are asking the player to do, we are asking the player to rise 3 lightning rods so that they will attract lightning and make the area secure for Rico and his army. So let me tell you something about the extreme weather. There were 3 principles that we were following when engineering and designing each one. Not an easy challenge, and each extreme weather event achieves it in a different way. So I'm gonna tell you how we did that with the lightning, and this discovery is going to hopefully help you to make sense of what really have control when a lightning strike. And let's say if it works, the lightning should hit the chopper, and indeed it hits the chopper. And I could definitely watch this going on for hours and hours as for the flying tanks, but again, we don't have hours and hours, so I apologize about that. But getting to conclusion, we just played for 15 minutes, I believe, but we've seen quite a lot of things. We've seen Solis, and hopefully now you have a better idea of what the extent and the variety of the world